Hey guys, how's it going? It's Matt again. I'm finally doing the equipment review video that I've been meaning to do post-trip. I got super busy with finals, but now I actually get to do it. So the first thing I want to talk about with Hypnoskates, obviously, their best feature was the fact that the chassis will come off the wheels. When they are removed, it looks like this. So here's the chassis. This back part bends up, connects to the shoe. Here's the shoe itself. This was easily their best feature. It allowed me to go into restaurants, across construction ways, into restrooms, pretty much anywhere where I couldn't actually rollerblade. And I ended up walking a couple of miles in these shoes over the trip just because some of the roads were impassable, some of the sidewalks were just way too gravelly. So Mads, because she didn't have these boots, ended up having to walk in her rollerblades in some real disgusting dirt. She also had to carry shoes with her the entire trip, so for 150 miles. And the website says it's 135 miles, but we got lost quite a bit, so we estimate that it's a little over 150 now. So she had to carry shoes with her, she had to carry extra socks with her. She had to change in and out of her shoes repeatedly throughout the trip, so the Hypnoskates definitely saved me tons of time, tons of energy, and I just looked real cool, which was a plus. Something that I thought would have been a downside of the Hypnoskates was the fact that they have laces. I thought I would have to retie these a lot, and that it would really be a burden. But the eye hooks on the sides actually helped me, help the laces stay on way better than I thought they would. They kind of snap into these. You can see how much tension it takes to pull it off. So that actually keeps the laces pretty snug, and then once you have the laces tied, you can use the Velcro across the front, and it actually helps you keep tons of tension on your ankle, so the force of skating doesn't relate directly to the laces, and that was amazing. That I only tied my boots once at the beginning of each day, and I didn't have to retie them. So yeah, I'm actually really pleased with the laces, and the only thing that I dislike about them is that it takes more time at the beginning of every day, but it's worth the features of these rollerblades. Another thing is that these boots were super comfortable, so you can see inside. I'll get it to the light. Everything's really foamy, but also kind of rigid, so it helped keep my ankle in place as I skated. The only wear area I did have was right inside here, where it folds in, but I think any rollerblade is going to wear your ankle a little bit, especially if you're skating in it for 150 miles. You're definitely going to have wear spots. My blisters and raw areas were nowhere near as bad as Mads. I just have one, on the side of my ankle, like I already said. She had them all over her feet. She had them on the sides, toward her ankles, at the base of her feet. So the Hypnoskates were definitely amazing in that respect. One downside of the boots that I noticed was this, where the chassis lock in on the bottom of the boots, this metal plate. It gets kind of full of dirt and gunk. You can see it in there. So that was somewhat unfortunate, but also, I mean, it's a price that I'm definitely willing to pay to be able to remove my wheels. And cleaning it's relatively easy. I've already mentioned this before, but stairs are sometimes difficult in these boots just because your ankle is in so tight. It's hard to bend it so that way you can approach the next step. But again, because I can remove the wheels and walk around, it's way better than actually having to carry shoes, so I'll take the stairs anytime. The Sportsta Mask. I used this on a lot of the busy roadways. I used it when we were in the country, which is pretty much from Tracy to my house, which was near Rinaldi's. It worked extremely well. It was definitely very comfortable for the long distances. A little bit warm during the days, but that wasn't too bad, and it didn't leave a ring around my face, which was nice. One of the downsides of the Sportsta Mask is you guys can see how that metal bar is pinched super tight. I didn't do that intentionally, it just got pinched to my backpack. So I can pinch it back out by pushing on it, and then again it'll fit the ridge of my nose, but I can never bend it quite straight enough, and there's a weird wear line forming right here. I can't get that to focus well enough. Anyways, there's a wear line there, because I've squished it like that probably 10 times by now, and I think eventually the whole thing is just going to snap in half. So I can let you guys know when and if that actually happens. I did get some dirt inside of the mask, but I think that's just part of me wearing it. It did keep out a lot of the cow manure smells, surprisingly, when we went by dairies, which was kind of amusing, because I took it off to get a drink, and I was like, oh, well, what's that awkward poop smell? Oh, we're by a dairy. So that was special, and it was a sign that the mask really, really worked, and that it kept out things. Another thing I noticed was we had an extremely windy day on our third day, and these vents on the Sportsta Mask, they're supposed to help me exhale harder. You can see them on the inside. So it's a hole that goes from here through there, and really, really high winds will pick up that flap and let air inside. So, I don't know if you guys can see that vibrating, but yeah, so because wind blew inside, it definitely decreased their efficiency a little bit, but it still was a nice thing to have, and that was only during ridiculously high winds. You can see on our video that the winds were actually towing us around, so that shows how extreme the conditions were. It's held up extremely nicely. There aren't any issues with the stitching that I've seen, no issues with the Velcro, no issues with the pads tearing. And you can replace these masks, the internal one, which actually does the filtering relatively easily. You just twist out the filter. So I'm happy with the Sportsta Mask. I think my favorite thing about it is the fact that it'll warm up air on cold nights. That's definitely helped me skate better and harder when it is really, really cold, just because my lungs stay real happy. Next favorite thing would be that, you know, it did filter out a lot of the smells and probably a lot of the pollutants. So that's the equipment. I'm happy with the way the wheels were on the Hypnoskates. I'm happy with the way the bearings held up. I'm happy with the wear marks on the chassis. It doesn't seem like anything's breaking. It all seems pretty standard. So if you have more questions about the equipment, let me know, and I'm happy to answer them on the blog. You can actually post comments on our first page, which is about under the About Me section, or you can post comments on our YouTube videos, which are also linked to our page, and I'll be happy to respond to any of those. If you have questions about the equipment or the trip or our process, or have proposals for other trips, I like skating. So yeah, let me know how things go, and check back again later. I'll hopefully be doing another trip eventually, but we will see. Alright, bye.